Hi, and welcome to Confianza Legal Podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to provide you information so that you know your rights if you're ever facing criminal charges or if you're ever facing charges with respects to a DUI. Knowing your rights is very, very important, and it can make a unpleasant experience a little bit easier. In today's podcast, we're going to be discussing your rights with regards to a DUI. A DUI, as you guys may know, it's acronym for driving under the influence. So we're going to touch on your rights of what are your rights if you get stopped for a DUI. And before we jump into that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Edvin Flores, and I'm one of the co-founders of Confianza Legal.
And my name is Mayda Flores Medrano, and I'm the other co-founder and also his sister.
A DUI is usually two cases in one. A DUI case has a DMV component to it, where the DMV is trying to suspend your license for driving under the influence, and that is under what is called an administrative hearing. And you also have the court portion of it, where the prosecuting agencies are charging you with driving under the influence, and they're trying to punish you by taking your freedom away for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or sometimes even prescription medication. And although these cases may seem like they are intertwined, they're only intertwined with respect to the facts of the case, but they are mutually exclusive in that they are both handled in different arenas. So, might I have a question for you? What happens when you get pulled over for driving under the influence?
The first thing you're going to notice is obviously those red lights in your rear view mirror. The officer is going to approach your vehicle and let you know the purpose of that stop, whether it be that you were swerving, you were speeding, you failed to stop. They're going to make certain inquisitions of you. They will ask you first for your driver's license and insurance. They will ask you where you're coming from, where were you going, and have you taken any drinks. Now, with regards to that, if they do suspect that you have been driving under the influence, they will ask you to get out of your vehicle and will request that you do field sobriety tests. Now, Edvin, can you deny doing or refuse to do the field sobriety tests?
That's a good question. And the short answer of it is yes, you can, and in my opinion, you should deny and not take those standard field sobriety tests. The reason being, these are agility and attention tests that are really designed for you to fail. They are tests that a sober person has a difficulty passing. Like I said, even if you're completely sober, they're very hard to pass. And not only that, if you have any physical conditions or physical impairments, that just multiplies the difficulty and the ability to pass those tests. So, yes, the short answer of it is yes. You can refuse to take the field sobriety tests, and those are usually, they check your eyes, they have you walk in a straight line, they have you tilt your head back and count. All those physical tests, yes, you may refuse them, and they will not have any consequences in your case. Let's remember that the purpose of these field sobriety tests are just for the officers to formulate whether they have probable cause to believe that you are driving under the influence. So, yeah, I would suggest you do not take those field sobriety tests. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say you've refused to take the field sobriety tests, and the officer nevertheless puts you in handcuffs and arrests you for driving under the influence. At that point, they're probably going to ask you, or they should tell you rather, that you have the right to take a alcohol test by way of breath or blood, and you choose one. At that point, what should one do?
There are two instances when you will be asked to either blow on a breathalyzer or draw blood. Usually the initial stages right upon the conclusion of the field sobriety tests, if you do decide to do them, or at the time that you refuse to do them, they will go ahead and ask you for a preliminary alcohol screening. The preliminary alcohol screening is not required, and this is usually done before an arrest. And you can refuse to do so without any additional consequences. The key here being, have you been arrested? If you have been arrested, by law, they have to inform you of the implied consent that you signed at the time that you applied for a driver's license. That implied consent says that you will go ahead and comply with either a breath test or a blood test to determine if you are driving while under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or both. At that point in time, if you do refuse, the DMV will automatically suspend your driving privileges for 1 year after the first refusal. If you do comply with them, then you're following that order, and there is no automatic suspension for that 1 year. You may have to, like Edvin said at the beginning, go through an administrative proceeding to protect your driving privileges, but it's not an automatic. So can you refuse? Not after you've been arrested. You have to go ahead and comply based on that implied consent signed. Now, is there any benefits to having legal representation with regards to a DUI?
Yes, there are tremendous benefits to having legal representation, so long as you have an attorney that knows how to fight a DUI case. There is a whole science to how your body metabolizes alcohol, and if your attorney doesn't know how to defend these cases, then you will be at a disadvantage. So long as you have an attorney by your side who knows how to fight these cases, who knows the science of how your body metabolizes alcohol, you should be in good shape and be able to fight the case. Go ahead.
Not only that, but I think that having an attorney, there's process and procedures, and DUIs are very meticulous as to the way they should happen. And if the officer doesn't follow protocol as required, that may give your attorney the basis to be able to undermine that result or impede the people from being able to use that result against you, therefore being able to either reduce charges or dismiss charges.
That is correct. And also, as a side note, I'd like to add that we've been talking about driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Okay? Now, in California, marijuana is legal. However, it is not legal to drive while under the influence of marijuana. Just like alcohol. Alcohol is legal, but you cannot drive under the influence of alcohol. But what's even more interesting is that you can be arrested and charged with a DUI if you are driving under the influence of medication. So, again, even though you are legally taking your medication, if there's a warning on your prescription that says you should not be driving, then don't drive, because you can and will likely face charges for driving under the influence. So if you find yourself in these situations, hire an attorney, consult with an attorney that can guide you and help you along the way.
There's always a benefit to consulting with someone with expertise with regards to this, because like I said, there are specific criteria, specific steps that must be followed by the officer, and unfortunately to the lay eye, you will not be able to determine whether these were followed or not. An experienced attorney will know exactly where to look and how to look at things in order to be able to help you out with the best possible outcome, whether it be a reduction of charges or a dismissal altogether.
Thank you. Are you looking for experienced criminal defense attorneys? Look no further. We are a firm founded by brother and sister with over 30 years of expertise in handling criminal defense cases and DUI cases. Whether you're seeking our representation or you just want to feel like you're talking to a family member, we can help.
At our firm, we believe that everyone deserves to be treated with respect. That's why we offer direct communication with your lawyer and make sure to keep you informed of every aspect of your case. We understand that these situations can be difficult and sensitive, so we strive to provide compassionate service while also remaining aggressive in court when necessary. We are never afraid to go to trial if needed and will always provide an honest evaluation of your case as well as guide you on the best course of action for your particular situation. Plus, we have processes in place to ensure that all of your needs are responded to quickly. After all, time is a factor when it comes to legal issues.
For those who only speak Spanish, don't worry. Our attorneys all speak fluent Spanish, so you will be able to communicate directly with them without any language barriers. No matter what kind of legal situation you are facing, rest assured knowing that our team has the knowledge and experience necessary to handle even the most complex cases.
At our firm, we prioritize customer service above all else because when it comes down to it, we consider ourselves part of a bigger family. If you're looking for experienced criminal defense attorneys who genuinely care about their clients and their cases, then look no further than us. With over 30 years of experience in this business, rest assured knowing that you'll be taken care of by true professionals. Get in touch today for more information about how we can help you out.
Call today 855-855-2171. 855-855-2171.
Confianza Legal.
855-855-2171.